Good Tuesday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather update for this June the 4th, 2013. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going to happen over the next several days. I talked about this last night, that we got to get one system out of the way before we start really talking about the next one. So let's go ahead and say this now. Cold front off the coast now. So that's good news for us. And the sunshine will start to return to eastern North Carolina through today. We've seen pockets of sunshine here and there, but there's still a slight chance for a shower mainly south of US 70 through this afternoon, so we'll keep that in the forecast. But let's go ahead and start talking about what is to come now. And unfortunately, it's going to be this little guy. We've been talking about it for the past couple of days about this tropical wave that could potentially develop into something. And the National Hurricane Center has gone ahead and issued a 30% probability in the next 48 hours that this could develop into some type of tropical cyclone. Right now, I'm leaning that it could, for the Gulf of Mexico, it could very well be a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but as it comes up our way, that's a different story. It's going to be more of a tropical, extra tropical wave, in my opinion, at this point, kind of looking at some of the models. Others look like it could be a weak tropical depression or a strong tropical depression going in towards the latter half of the week. Nonetheless, if it's named or not named, or if it has a number or it doesn't have a number, expect rainfall the next several days across the east. But we have three different scenarios that could play out. The first scenario is an eastern track where it's offshore. That would keep us dry and probably hot. With the subsidence on the back side of the storm system, likely the temperatures would be somewhere close to 90 degrees this weekend if we have an eastern track. Now, most of the models have trended further west. With a track that would be basically right along I-95, we would see rain showers and thunderstorms for areas east of 17. That's going to be the best bet. If we have a track that's further inland than that, we're talking about the potential for severe weather on top of wind, rain, and everything else. So there's a lot to go into this forecast. On top of that, we've got a trough of low pressure that'll be diving in here for Saturday. So once this system gets on out of here, which will likely be on Friday evening into early Saturday, we got another system to deal with. But the good thing is, it's not looking like it's going to be bringing any severe weather. It would be just some storms across the east. So let's go ahead and get into some of the modeling this afternoon. Here's the look from the 12Z GFS run, and once again, the GFS has flip-flopped a couple of times. So I'm kind of weary about showing it. The other day, it basically dried up the entire system, but now it has trended back and is now back on track with the other computer models, the European and the Canadian, on this system. And I think all of them have all kind of come together now and are kind of clumped together as far as this is going to happen at this point. So it's a good bet that it's going to rain on us as we head towards the weekend. The different scenarios, though, are going to be the issue, whether or not which one of these scenarios play out. So we'll start off with today, still with a slight chance for a shower and also the clouds, but they are starting to break up, so that's good news for us. We'll keep a mixture of sun and clouds, but gradual clearing through the afternoon hours. Temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Go into tomorrow, and the low is still down to the south and hasn't been picked up by anything just yet. It's drifting northward, and with all the moisture, it looks like all the moisture is more of an eastern weighted storm. Most of the moisture is off to the east of the main center of low pressure, and you see it's trying to organize into something at this point. You got another trough back off to the west that's going to try to dive in here as we head towards the weekend. That's our secondary trough. That's the secondary rainmaker that comes in here on Saturday. With this look for tomorrow, we're looking dry. Maybe a slight chance for a shower, but I think most of us are going to be dry tomorrow afternoon. Some of the models, especially the high resolution models, are trying to depict some shower activity tomorrow, but I think the best chance for rain will likely stay south of I-40 tomorrow afternoon. We'll fast forward into Thursday. The low gets caught up by the westerlies and starts to get brought up through the flow. By this point, we're starting to see some of these tropical rains moving in here, but the center of low pressure would still be down to the south at this point. On the GFS, and I'll show you this on the surface parameters, on the GFS, the center of low pressure, the surface low, is riding up the east coast. On the European, it's just a touch inland. I'll show you that all in a few minutes, but I just want to show you the overall general consensus of where we're thinking about as far as this energy is concerned. That's Thursday afternoon. We go forward in time. Here's Friday afternoon. Most of the energy is now pushing up the coast, mainly north of us, but still, this is when we're going to see the best chance for rain showers and thunderstorms across eastern North Carolina would be during this period from about, we'll say probably about midnight, we'll say about 10 o'clock on Thursday till about probably Friday night, late Friday night, in the early Saturday morning. But here's our secondary trough that comes in here as we head towards your day on Saturday, but it broadens out. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a big storm maker, but it definitely broadens out. But there's still energy on top of us, so we're going to keep that chance for showers and thunderstorms. More than likely, we will be seeing chances for rain going into Saturday as well. Will it be severe? Doesn't look like that at this point. But previous to this, on Friday, that's another issue that we'll be talking about going into the next couple of days. Here's Sunday, and we start to get out of it, but I still think that there was going to be a slight chance for a shower on Sunday. Here's Monday. We start to dry out, and maybe a slight chance for a shower, but I think the best chance will be right along the coast. Here's Tuesday. Northwesterly flow. That's a dry flow, but there is some energy in the flow there, and that could spark up a few showers and thunderstorms, even going into Wednesday. Now down to the surface on the GFS, and you see the low pressure center down there in the southern Gulf, near the Yucatan Peninsula. Here we are on tomorrow, and it starts to organize into something. But you see all the moisture is on the eastern side of the storm, not very much on the western side of the storm, but we're already starting to get some of the influence. High pressure will be ridging in here for Wednesday, so we're going to stay dry for most of Wednesday. Maybe 1 or 2 showers gets in here, but that's about it for your Wednesday. Here's Thursday, and we start to get the moisture coming up in here. Now there's a low down here to the south, but the main moisture in the main low would be somewhere up in here, more than likely. But you see the moisture coming up through the Big Bend here, and we're already starting to get some of that as well. It's already starting to spread northward, so that's why we're going ahead and putting in that rain chance for Thursday. Here's Friday, and the GFS is a little fast, and actually I'm going to step through this from Thursday into Friday, and you see the low coming right up the coast, and heavy rain right off the coast if this is correct. Here's Friday morning. This would be about 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of storminess right along the coast. And that kind of track would be a track where we would see more rain for the Outer Banks and the Inner Banks, as well as the Highway 17 corridor and points eastward. And not very much inland. We may see a few showers inland, but that's about it if this were to come true. Now, the GFS has been a steady progressor to the west over the past day or so. So I'm trending a little bit closer to the European at this point as far as what is going to happen. I'll show you that output here in just a minute. And here's Friday afternoon, and a lot of the rain showers are off the coast via the GFS. Here's Saturday, and trying to form a little low here. So I don't want to say the severe weather aspect is completely dull and null and void at this point. So we'll keep a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, obviously, with that trough moving through on Saturday. But strong thunderstorms, we're going to hold off on that thinking for the time being. Here's Sunday, still with that little piece of energy on top of us, keeping a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Here's Monday, and for the most part, we'll be dry on Monday. Maybe it's a slight chance for a sea breeze shower or thunderstorm that afternoon. Here's Tuesday, we're dry, and here's Wednesday, and that little piece of energy with high pressure. I wouldn't put it past us to see some showers and thunderstorms for coastal areas that afternoon. Now here's some of the early cycle track guidance. This is from 0Z, so this is from last night. The new stuff won't come in until later on this afternoon, but the overall idea is still there. You see most of the model tracks are bringing it inland at this point. You saw the GFS, it was right up the coast. This model has been fairly consistent about a track that basically bisects the 9 on your side viewing area. This model has been okay with picking an inland track as well. And this is a climatology model. It actually takes what happened in the past and tries to extrapolate what's going to happen in the future. And apparently, in past years, and when it's seeing these things, it's like, hey, this is the track that it would take, which would be further inland. Here's a look from the European. This is the 0Z European. The new European doesn't come out until about 3:30 this afternoon. I'm doing this update at about 1:40 this afternoon, and we'll make sure that there's some posts on Facebook about the new model runs coming up here. But this is valid for today. Obviously, we're just still seeing some showers. This is valid through the 24-hour period between 18Z on today through tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon rather. Actually, this afternoon. I take that back. So, anyways, let me get through this. Obviously, it's just showing the showers, but here we go, going into Friday. This is Thursday evening, and you're already starting to see those showers moving into the area. This is Friday, and the low track is right through here, and it's got what we would call a deformation zone on the east side of the track. On the west side of the track, rather. And that would mean that we'd have a pretty heavy line of showers and thunderstorms likely up and through here. Now, this is almost similar to the GFS. Now, I'm not to say that the 12Z run won't be any different, but this is a little wetter than what the GFS is advertising right now. With that in mind, we go forward, and this is the Saturday storm. It's on through here, and maybe some showers for Saturday and Monday. Here's Monday afternoon, some showers, possibly some showers and thunderstorms. It's very, very consistent with its thinking over the past several days. So once again, I do want to reemphasize that even if it doesn't have a name or a number, there is a good potential that we're going to see heavy rainfall across eastern North Carolina. Whether or not we see severe weather will depend on the track of the low, and until it actually forms, until the low actually gets a little better organized, we just won't know. Once it gets a little better organized, I think we'll have a better understanding, and the models will have a better understanding on where to go. They just don't do very well with this type of convection. So we'll keep a very close eye on it. Stay with Storm Team 9 on WNCT.com as well as on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll keep you guys updated with all of the latest, as this is obviously a developing situation with our weather pattern over the next couple of days. But I don't want to alarm you and say that there's going to be a huge hurricane coming up the way. That is not going to be the issue. We're forecasting for mainly heavy rainfall. The side thought now is the potential for some gusty winds and also the potential for severe weather. Once again, the track of the low is going to be the mitigating factor whether or not we see severe weather or not. Once again, we don't want to alarm you, but we just want to give you a heads up on what we're expecting here over the next couple of days. All right, that's going to do it for me this afternoon. I know this is a long video, but this will do it for me for this afternoon. You tune in at 5:36 as well as 10 on CW and 11 o'clock on WNCT. I'll be in this evening for Chief Meteorologist David Sawyer. And Meteorologist Dante Jones will be in tomorrow morning from 5 to 7 on Morning Edition. Have a great evening, and we'll keep you guys up to date on all the latest.